Hello, good morning in Europe, good evening in the States. This is Ahura with another daily outlook videos. In these videos, we're going to see what happened yesterday in the market, what is going on right now, and what we have to expect from today's news and events. How to trade or trading tips. Yesterday, we had a very poor economic calendar. However, the market was so busy with too many speeches and the, the effects and the market kind of emotions. Markets got very boosted. First of all, we had some stocks that they were raising yesterday, and they helped the both. They helped all most of U.S. main indices to close at the record high. S&P 500, Dow Jones, and Nasdaq. While the Dow Jones closed for the second day in a row, closed in a record high. This positive sentiment came after passing the infrastructure bill of Mr. Biden by $1.2 billion that helped mostly the commodity-based companies and construction-based companies, while this is about recovering the basic of economy or reconstruct the base of the economies like roads, like many other stuff like that, and most of them they need commodities, they need material. So material and commodity based stocks yesterday raised, which helped the leading indices to close at the record highs. As I told, Dow Jones yesterday was printed the second uh, I mean the second day of closing in second day in a row, closing at the high level. However, the market risk is increasing. Yesterday we had too many speeches, and today we're gonna have them too. Yesterday, the speeches that we had from Federal Reserve officials, including Clarida, including Bullards, including Evans, including Harkers, they had a different and mixed ideas. Like, for example, the Clarida was waiting for better better employment data in the next year, and she believes that the inflation in the next year can increase higher, which supposed us to support that which will bring the Federal Reserve in a point to increase the rates by at least twice. I mean, to raise it twice the interest rates. On the other hand, some others they had others ideas, just like this mixed idea about the Federal Reserve policy between the Fed members right now in their converse in their speeches will be in the focus. It will give us more idea about what exactly happened in a meeting before we have the Fed meetings minutes. Today we will have a PPI or producer price index or producer inflation, and tomorrow we will have the consumer inflation. So this producer inflations and consumer inflation data from today and tomorrow will give us more idea about the inflation situation and about the then when we have the meeting minutes also we will see the balance between the hawkish policies fan and dovish policies fan, so we can guess that most probably which of these two groups will win in the next meetings to go towards how increasing the interest rates a little bit faster than what we had in the previous meeting, what we heard from the previous meeting. At the same time, we may see the FOMC members with increasing, it's just like this right now. Currently, inflation is taking the center of the stage. And in next months, if we see the increasing, still the inflation still increasing, then or even not increasing or even to stay in such a high levels above 3.6 and 4%, it will probably push this FOMC members to go towards the hawkish policies, which means that increasing the pace of reducing a little bit more, like to reduce the asset purchasing by more than $15 billion per month. This is what we're expecting to see, even if we are not going to to hike the rates faster than earlier. Uh, this mostly, according to the records, mostly what is the risk in the U.S. economic, the biggest risk of U.S. economy in next 12 and 18 months is increasing the currency, virus increasing, and the tension between the China and U.S. These or I mean, increasing the currency. Why this increasing the currency? The tension. What I'm let me say the first part. Increasing the currency. It means that right now we are waiting to see the higher inflation. This higher inflation at the moment, with the expectation of the going to the faster rates hikes, still will support the U.S. dollar currency, U.S. dollar to raise. And raising the U.S. dollar means less export, and this less export and more import will put the U.S. Current balance at the negative, but the more negative area. It's not something good for the U.S. exports to have the higher export, more expensive U.S. dollar, especially against the Chinese yuan. This will make a little bit things a little bit harder for U.S. Economy. At the same time, the tensions that we have between China and United States that is increasing in the past days also will be one of the most risk in the market at the moment. So for the U.S. economy, because these tensions can affect on the economic relations, can affect on the so many other export and import prices and the costs. At the same time, digital currencies also, according to the latest Federal Reserve reports, the cryptocurrencies and especially stable coins is one of the biggest risks at the moment in the economy, that they may hurt the economy so badly. Besides that, so many analysts they believe that the next crisis will come from the stable coins. So let's see what's going to happen. Uh, this so with this all, looking at the inflation numbers will be very important to see that at the first stage, which we were talking about the US dollar rate, what's going to happen for the interest rates. Increasing interest rate, as I told, it means that if it increase, if especially if start increasing even a little bit, because we are in a high level already, a little bit increase or even staying at the same levels, it means that we have to go to the hawkish policies on a little bit faster, and it means a higher or expensive US dollar, which is not good for the US economy at all, as I mentioned. At the same time, energy with the data that we yesterday we had from the China about the export, increasing this export, and while still the other demand of US oil demand also is increasing, we saw that the demand, with the increasing the demand, the market is increased. And at the same time, as I told yesterday, mentioned yesterday morning as well, the Saudi Arabia's Aramco also increased the prices for its Asian clients, as it means that the demand in Asia is increasing the demand will put the oil price in a stronger positions, while OPEC Plus in last week's meeting they decided to do not change their increasing or output. So they're gonna go forward with that the same level that with adding 400,000 barrels per day to reach the pre-pandemic level. And it is while the demand in the market has already reached to the pre-pandemic level. So this means that the higher prices for the oil market will be continued, and it will hold the producer price index or producer inflation a little bit at the higher levels, and the higher, more expensive transportation prices, more expensive. It means that the inflation. I mean, firstly, With increasing oil price, producer inflation also increase. At the same time, we will have the more expensive transportation. So it will also will add the producer price. So it means that the last price, the final product that we are getting as a consumers, it will increase twice more than what we're twice more than not twice more than the price, twice more than what we were waiting to increase. So inflation can stay a little bit longer at this at the high level. So this will put the economy in a little bit in a harder situation. That's why the many analysts still, including me, I do believe that we have to go to the rate hikes, to hike the rates, to increase the rates at the first half of 2022. Uh, then what else more? Today we will have more speeches. Today is sort of kind of, we can say that it's the day of the speeches. Today we want the speeches that at the economic calendar. We will have the German trade balance, which is very important to see. German current economic situation and sentiment. It's very important to see in Europe, as Germany is the biggest European economy. At the same time, we will have the Panetta from ECB, we will have Ms. Lagarde as the governor of this ECB's president, or the governor to speech, and later at the US economic calendar, as I mentioned, we will have the producer price index, which is, or price inflation, or producers inflation, which is very important to watch before going to have the Mr. Powell's speech and other Federal Reserve members. At the same time, we will have today Mr. Bailey's, the president of the Central Bank of United Kingdom as well. Today is the ECB president, Fed president, and BOE president will speak, and they gonna affect the market. We have to watch while we are watching the economic calendar and economic data. We have to follow these three speeches. They will be very important. They will give us more idea of central banks' policies as what their head or what their presidents are thinking about that. On the energy market today, we will have API as all Tuesday. At the end of the day, we will have American Petroleum Institute numbers for the oil inventories that we had in the last week. Let's see these data. What at the same time we had we will have the EIA reports, monthly reports as well. So we have to follow the energy report. As I told, this energy reports and energy. This is the oil price. This is the oil chart. You can see here the oil chart, and oil is increasing. With the increasing oil, today's reports also will be important. If today's reports for API and EIA reports, they say that they increase the demand and decrease the inventories, especially at that situation, we can see the oil price again in a higher prices, more than $83-84. In the stock markets, after yesterday increase in the stock markets, this is SP 500, S&P 500. Yeah, if you remember yesterday morning when we were talking, the prices were here somewhere around like 4,000, 700 when we were talking. It was about the 4,700 yesterday morning. As yesterday I told that after some increasing, we are waiting to see the decrease yesterday. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. I mean, a little bit increase and then decreasing. In the next days, today and tomorrow, we will see more decrease in the stock market, and it will continue to, the prices will continue to fall, and we can see the falling prices in the next days, because especially if today's inflation numbers become more than expected. The Dow Jones, as I told, for the second day in a row, closed at the higher prices. Its higher closing price was at the recorded a new had what like a new recording, high recording at the closing time. At the cryptocurrencies market, we had news from MasterCard that they will start accepting they accepting the crypto payments, or they will provide the crypto payments in Asian Pacific countries, since those countries are already waiting and they have their opportunities, they have their kind of instructions, basic stuffs, basic setting for that, so they can accept and pay with with their Mastercard. They accept and pay the cryptocurrencies with their Mastercard, and probably Mastercard is planning to start crypto payment as soon as they can. It was one of the reasons to help the crypto market. Bitcoin, as I told yesterday, above 62K is totally in uptrend. Ripple above $1.06 is uptrend, and Ethereum above $4,200 is in a very bull market. Decreasing, falling under these levels can put them under pressure. But the US dollar, US dollar had some correction after touching on Friday. As you see, it touched a 1 year high, and after that we had some correction. It's depend the next fall, trend here will depend on today and tomorrow's inflation numbers. If we see the inflation at the same level or increasing, we can see US dollar to start increasing again from these levels. Or if we see the meaningful decrease, the meaningful falling or decrease in inflation numbers, then US dollar can fall forward and can go forward to the lower levels. In the current at the currency market, euro is trying to recover itself, and but however today's the next level of the euro, it will be clearly dependent on today's US dollar index, as we see that the US dollar, what will happen in US dollar index. But at the same time, we will have, as I told, we will have economic data from Germany. Positive economic sentiment from Germany can help the euro to get a little bit strong against the US dollar. At the pound front, today, besides that, despite Mr. Bailey's speech, we will not have any market mover from the pound. So that's why today's market's cable chart will be depend on Mr. Bailey's speech. This is, but at the same time, if we go to the commodity prices, commodity-based currencies, you can see that the commodity-based currencies, they increased very good yesterday, and they are still increasing, all the commodity-based currencies, because as I told, increasing the material commodity-based currencies yesterday was one of the reasons. This euro against the AUC, this is the New Zealand dollar against the euro, this against the US dollar, this is a US dollar against the US Canadian dollar. As you see that the Canadian dollar, with increasing the oil and increasing the generally commodity prices, still can increase. This is the general what happened in the market and what we are expecting for today's what I do expect personally to see higher inflation, or at the inflation at the same level or higher, so which means that we have to see the stock market to continue falling. I do believe that the downtrend of the stock market started from these levels, with breaching under 4,700 in SP 500, and this downtrend can continue by year end. So this is what I do expect, and what I am expecting from stock markets from now on forward till end of the year. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this. Please let me know your idea. Please let me know what you're thinking about these videos. What do you need me to cover more in these videos, and I will do that for you in the next days. Have a good day. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.